In our United Voice series, we're shining a spotlight on the plight of black farmers in Oklahoma. Once a thriving industry, today there are fewer than 2,000 across our state, with even fewer able to make a profit. News 4's Ashley Moss shares the story of one man working to keep his family's 100-year-old inheritance intact and a federal program aiming to right the impact of decades-long discrimination.
George Roberts is one of just a handful of black farmers left in Oklahoma.
So you could just about imagine with a fly in the buttermilk.
He was born into farm life, his great-grandmother settling into Holdenville on the promise for freed slaves of 40 acres and a mule.
We didn't get the mule. We got the 40 acres. Financing is the key to agriculture. And we've tried to, do different options with the government and different other agencies, but it's tough.
3 generations later, it's grueling work to produce a profit.
Simple reason is because you don't have nothing to work with.
Most American farmers rely on federal grants to stay afloat. But for years, those benefits were made available primarily to white farmers. Roberts is one of thousands of blacks who was denied federal USDA assistance.
A lot of people say it's easy and you get what you want, and you don't.
These grants have always been used for land purchases, supplies, and repairs. But for decades, black farmers say they've had trouble getting applications approved.
The name of the game is to put you up, and then you can't make it, then they take it.
According to a 1999 class action lawsuit against the USDA, the agency willfully discriminated against black farmers and failed to investigate claims of racism between 1983 and 1997. The farmers won a $1 billion settlement, but George Roberts was one of thousands who fell through the cracks. His claim was from 1982.
Debt relief would have helped out because you wouldn't have had to face this music every year trying to pay a loan. I'm a godly person, so I'm going to leave it up to the man upstairs to make it right.
Earlier this year, Congress took action and set aside money for discrimination compensation.
A lot of the discrimination had to do with them deterring people away from the application process. I know that it's going to be a struggle to get a lot of these people through this.
But Willard Tillman from the Oklahoma Black Historical Research Project confirms paperwork is still a barrier for aging farmers. 10-page
recommendation turned into a 40-page application. If the application process was basically done in a manner whereas that fairness was there, just think about the economic wealth that these black farmers would really have right now.
John Boyd and the National Black Farmers Association have been working through obstacles.
Because white farmers began suing us in federal court.
His association is traveling around the country.
If you were affected by USDA and discrimination, I would like to see you in there with a complete package in and hopefully get compensated and get some funds out of this.
Educating black farmers about the complexities of this latest debt relief.
October 31st, there's no extension on the deadline, and there's no appeal process if you win or lose. These aren't things that I wanted, but those are the facts.
For folks like George Roberts, there are mounds of paperwork to reclaim his livelihood.
It's up to me and my generations to keep it.
But it's a worthy challenge to keep the family business alive.
There's a lot of blood and sweat and tears was done on this farm.
Ashley Moss, Oklahoma's News 4.
I bet there was. The financial assistance application process for farmers who believe they may have faced discrimination in USDA farm lending is open until the end of October. Now, we'll have more information about that on